I recently got a new car, BMW E92, and before I had a 1.6 litre Audi A3, which was not the fastest. It was from 2009, not the fastest, and it was pretty economical. I could get to my girlfriend who's in Bristol. I live near Derby. I could get to her house on a full tank and still have like almost like a half left. Okay, that's not true. Like just over a quarter of a tank left. Whereas now, I went out for like 2 hours yesterday in it. That sounds like a lot, but it was like stopping, starting. So it wasn't like constant driving for 2 hours, and I used almost a whole tank. Because it's a bigger tank as well. So I didn't think that would be the thing, but it uses more because it's more powerful. It's not even that much more powerful. It's only I don't know. I can't remember what the engine is, but it's not that much more powerful. It's more powerful, obviously. I think it's double the horsepower, but it uses so much more fuel. So this is videos, how to save tips, blah, 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 blah. Might help you as well. No one's going to watch this because no one cares, but I do, so I'm going to watch it.
Planning ahead is imperative, and it's the foundation.
I like this guy. I've seen him before.
Tips. Thinking about things that are happening in front of you, like red lights, the way you accelerate when the speed limit increases, your
yeah, but I just
to
floor it.
And roundabouts. Don't just look at the car that's in front of you. Look as far down the road as you can see. Right now it doesn't achieve anything, but in a second it opens up and we can actually see the traffic lights, which have just turned green. So we're best to use engine braking.
Shit, you can't see.
Planning ahead.
Yep.
Is imperative.
Seen this guy before. He's not funny, but like good tips.
All the other tips. Thinking about things that are happening in front of you.
Got a nice car too.
Lights, the way you accelerate.
M2, I'm pretty sure.
Increases your approach to junctions and roundabouts. Don't just look at the car that's in front of you. Look as far down the road as you can see. Right now it doesn't achieve anything.
I just accelerate.
In a second,
the whole time.
And we can actually see the traffic lights, which have just turned green.
The one tip I have is to use cruise control.
So we're best to use engine braking. Engine braking is one of the best tools to get better fuel economy. Simply all you do is lift your foot off the accelerator
and it just slows down.
Stay in gear. If you want more engine braking, you can change down the gearbox to get another bit of engine braking, and down again to get even more engine braking.
I don't do that. That's interesting.
Basically stop there without touching the brake pedal. The fundamental is this. There is a magical technology called DCFO. And what this technology means is that when you're off the gas, your engine uses zero fuel. Engine braking is best used when you know you need to come to a full stop.
Yep.
So like here at the roundabout, I'm going to shift down a gear to get a little bit more engine braking.
So you don't brake?
Because I know I'm going to come to near enough a full stop. In any situation where you don't intend to stop, there is a better solution.
Wait, so instead of braking, you just change gears, take your foot off the things and it slows down?
Another thing that can affect fuel economy is the way you've maintained your car. The best way to check if your car is well maintained is with an OBD reader. This one is from OBD11. OBD11 is compatible with BMW, all the Volkswagen Auto group, Volkswagen, Audi, Skoda.
Yeah, but how much is it? The OBDs are expensive.
And also the Toyota group, including Lexus. It's literally the easiest thing on planet Earth to set up. All you do is plug it in.
That is a strange place for an OBD.
Hit connect, scan the faults with your car. All of these things here are things that can affect your fuel economy. And we've actually found 3 faults with my car. I've actually got an engine fault for my battery. I've got a sound amplifier fault, and I've got a body electronics fault. Not ideal, but if you see something in here along the lines of fueling, ignition, spark, anything
Yeah,
to
this
do
one's
with
not
cylinders,
applicable to
anything
me
do with
because,
air intake.
or to anyone
These are all
really,
things that can negatively affect your
because
fuel
if you've got a
economy.
problem, you
The
fix
one
it.
reason that
Or you try
OBD11
to.
stands out from the rest of the
Yeah, but
brands
how much is
making
it?
OBD readers is because they have one-click apps. This one is going to blow people's minds. Eco Pro Coasting Mode. No longer do you have to shift into neutral to coast. All you have to do is release the accelerator. This stuff is bloody brilliant for fuel economy. And once again, because it's OBD11, you hit activate and it's one.
Oh, so you can
click
code it.
to
I might
activate.
have to get
Go and check out the
OBD11.
link in the description. Use the discount code that I've just given you guys. Get yourself an OBD11 reader. Use those one-click apps. Get
They're
better
100
economy.
quid.
Now
70
let's
quid.
talk about coasting. Now, if you're in a situation where you want to hold on to your momentum, coasting is better. My speed is barely decreasing because I'm going downhill.
Yeah, but
and
isn't
I'm
that just-
in neutral. I'm going to throw the car out of gear here, and we're going to hold on to this speed down the hill.
Well, then you
And I
put it
know
back
there's
into
not a
gear when it.
traffic light up here, but we're still doing 65. We're just going to select another gear because it's a little bit dangerous to be going around corners in neutral. But
This is
we've
actually
kept our
interesting, you
speed
know.
all the way down here. Really, really cool. Really, really effective. I've got a full video about the differences, the benefits, and a real-world test of engine braking versus coasting. If you click up here, you can find that. I'd be remiss if I didn't remind you to subscribe, but you've already done that. Probably already.
Yeah,
liked
you
the video.
subscribe too if you're watching.
Increase your tire pressures. Increasing your tire pressures is massive because it reduces your rolling resistance.
My tyre pressure's fine. I'm going to skip this one.
I know we all hate this little button down here. Most of us have a habit of just pressing it every time we turn on the car, if you're anything like me. Start-stop's annoying, right? But if you're trying to get better,
I don't mind it. I quite like it.
leave it on because it makes a massive difference. Start-stop is so nice. As long as you're in neutral, as you come to a stop, it's just going to kill the engine and give you a little better fuel economy. Look at that. Engine's off. And then as soon as you're ready to take off, it switches the engine on for you again. Now, if you've got a hybrid car with an
This is just satisfying. I don't know. Watching people drive is so satisfying.
electric motor, it's even better because it won't turn on the engine as soon as you move off. It will use the hybrid motor to get you going. It's very similar to an electric vehicle in that sense. I actually love the way start-stop operates in a manual car because you have a bit more control over how you want to use it. If you don't want the engine to turn off, you can just keep your foot on the clutch. Really, really useful. But I'm quite aware the vast majority of you will have automatic cars. But even there, although it's a bit more annoying,
I have
it goes
manual.
a massive way towards
manual
helping your
boy.
fuel economy around town. Because if you're stationary and you're burning fuel,
Okay,
well, it's
next.
going
I
to
get this one now.
decimate your fuel economy.
Oh, this one's boring. Low revs. I like
Don't
high revs.
take off from every light like a child.
Why
A
not?
little bit of revs is all you need.
Yeah,
Just enough
but
to
it's
get
not as
going. You don't
fun.
need to traffic light Grand Prix everyone all the time.
You can do though.
Just take it easy. Take it gentle. That's all you need. Keeping your revs as low as possible, as close to that 1000 RPM idle revs as possible.
Sorry, it's just lagging. It's not my Wi-Fi. I don't know what it is.
Is another key to efficient driving. The lower your revs, the less fuel you're using. To keep your revs low, just be very gentle with the throttle and be liberal with the amount of gear changes you make.
But it's not as fun
As
not
soon
using
as
your
you get
throttle.
a little bit over that idle RPM, just shift up again. And then you'll always be at the bottom of the rev range where you get the best
Yeah, but
fuel economy.
mm,
Even when joining motorways, if you're trying to be efficient, you can keep your revs low. Just keep changing gear.
I don't think I've ever driven like that, like calmly.
little bit of acceleration goes a
I
long
probably
way.
should. Aircon.
Turn off your air conditioning. Very simple.
Does that
Air
actually?
conditioner is a parasitic loss on the engine. It saps a little bit of the engine's energy.
Really?
So if you want better fuel economy,
I know that.
turn that bad boy off. If you don't have an annoying car like mine, then you probably have a button for this, but my car has a screen. So we go into climate, and then we just turn off the AC. This is only if you're trying to get that maximum fuel economy.
I don't think that
think
makes.
a lot of
Sure, that
people-
can't make that much difference.
We're gonna leave that on.
Yeah, but it's interesting.
The no brake game. And the reason this works really well is because it forces you to engine brake and to plan ahead, and ends up resulting in better fuel economy. The premise is very simple. Do not brake. Anytime you would like to brake, just use your gears to slow down instead. So I'm planning ahead for this roundabout.
Yeah, but I don't
Wanna
get
just
how
come in
that
a little bit slower so I can catch
affects
the right
the
gap.
fuel, because the brakes don't use the fuel,
There
do
we
they?
go, there's no one coming, that's fine, I can do it without braking. Happy days. And now we're already planning ahead. There's a roundabout coming up, so we're going to bleed off a little bit of speed by changing down a gear. That's it, perfect, nobody's there. We can go round, we still haven't touched the brakes. I straight lined that roundabout. If you want to learn more advanced driving tips like that, click the video up here. There's a speed limit change.
I'm gonna be watching more of these in my
30.
free time, I think.
So I'm going to have a big old
These are
red
interesting.
map that's just going to slow me down a little bit. Nice. Now that the engine braking's done its thing, I'm going to shift back up, hold on to that momentum. If we can time this just right, we might catch the green light here. Oh, can we do it? No. Almost. But that's the idea of the no brake game. The idea is to plan far enough ahead.
Well,
that
try
you
not to
never have
brake
touch the brakes.
at all.
On the highway and motorway, it's even better because you can just do it for hundreds of miles at a time.
Okay, what does this mean?
Hypermiling.
Hypermiling.
This is driving to the exclusion of everything else apart from fuel economy. For many cars, the most efficient speed possible is 56 miles per hour.
Why?
So if we set our cruise control at 56 miles per hour, this is the most efficient speed. Now, most people wouldn't want to do this because you get overtaken by buses. So it's not the most comfortable way to travel sometimes,
Yeah.
but it is the most efficient. When you're hypermiling, you can also make sure to include all the other tips that I've mentioned in this video. If you're in an electric car especially, and you're just trying to go further, this is a great way to eke out a little extra range. The reason this is really effective is because air resistance increases on an exponential. Less speed drastically reduces your air resistance. When you see those crazy quotes online of people doing 80 plus miles to the gallon, this is how. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Slightly different format.
It was a different video for me as well. I've never done anything like that. I've not talked much or taken any information. I learnt a few things. I'm going to go try that now. Subscribe, like, blah, 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 blah.